Good day to all the judges and panelists. The title today is Virtual Reality for Home-Based Online Learning. My name is Nagendraj Narayanan. I did my degree, Bachelor of Teaching English as a Second Language from the Kota Baru Teachers Education Institute. I completed my Masters in TESOL in University Malaya. I currently teach as an English teacher in SJKT Trolak, and I've been there for the last 6 years. The main problem that inspired this research is the new norm of home-based online learning. This is a problem when pupils cannot visualize abstract concepts using 2D videos. They have a lack of motivation because of that, because they cannot conceptualize things like directions, things like colors and shapes and other features, for example like seasons or weathers. So there is a need to improvise how we can interact with them when they are at home. There is also a lack of comparative studies that evaluate 2D videos and 360-degree virtual reality videos in home-based learning. Therefore, the rationale for the current study is to find a method of home-based online learning that can best replicate real-life interactions, and of course to contribute to the research field of virtual reality use in education, especially in the home-based online learning context. And then finally, to bridge the gap in existing literature that evaluate the use of different technologies for online learning. Specific objectives of this study is to first study the difference between the post-test results of respondents who took the non-immersive 2D online lesson and the post-test results of respondents who took the immersive 3D VR online lesson. The second objective is to analyze the difference in terms of level of participation in online lesson between the two groups, and finally to evaluate the perceptions of participants using the two types of intervention. Now, this research was conducted using the mixed methodology, which means there's an experiment and an interview. I've used pre and post tests, a survey, and a semi-structured interview. The sampling for this study involves year 4 pupils. Okay, so 100 pupils were randomly selected using Microsoft Excel. So codes were given to the general population of year 4 pupils and then extracted so that we can get 100 participants. So the experimental group had 50 participants and the control group had 50 participants. 2 participants from each group were selected for an interview. In this table, we can see the procedures which began in April 2020. So we have I started off with a general survey to look at what the problem that we were facing, and then I trialed using the CoSpacesEdu Software and also using the VR goggles for the very first time. And then I also identified teachers and target population. This is where I also did my literature study to identify if there were past studies conducted in this particular area. And finally, in September, there was a 2-week intervention, and between in the period of October to November, I also conducted the post test, the survey, and the interview. Everything was done online via Google Meet in order to abide the standard operating procedures. Now, this is the example of the CoSpacesEdu software. It is an immersive virtual world which I created based on the syllabus, the Year 4 CEFR English syllabus. This is the Google Cardboard VR goggles which were distributed to the students in the experimental group. So finally, the results for the first objective: difference between the post-test results of respondents who took the non-immersive 2D online lesson and the post-test results of respondents who took the immersive 3D virtual reality online lesson. The independent samples t-test showed that there was a statistically significantly higher post-test score for the VR group. That means there is a difference between the post-test results of the two groups. Next, in terms of level of participations, there was a slightly higher level of participation for the VR group. However, the differences are not statistically significant, meaning that the overall result is that there is no difference in terms of level of participation for the two groups. And finally, in terms of perception, there were several highlights mentioned by the participants in the interview, as you can see in the screen. Mainly, it seemed as if there was a novelty effect when we used the virtual reality technology, but still, most of the participants agreed that there should be the online lesson is not as exciting as the lessons they used to have in the classroom. So key findings and implications from this research is that no significant difference was recorded between the two groups. There was only a slight difference in terms of post-test results. There was a similar level of participation as well. Excitement was mainly due to the novelty effect of using the new technology. Overall anxiety and fear of online learning still existed in both the groups. Longitudinal research is needed to eliminate novelty effect. And finally, it implies that more effort should be made to replicate home-based learning to suit the experience in the classroom. Thank you very much.